Excellencies, um, Minister of Public Works and Reconstruction, Dr. Ilmi Mohamed Noor, rectors of Simmet University and Somali National University, government officials, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. When the MC called me up, I took it both as an honor and a gentle reminder that I no longer have the option of sitting right there just listening. The best part of being invited to any forum like this. I'm honored to have attended the sessions yesterday, and upon reflecting the keynote addresses, the speeches, and the panel discussions, I came to realize that in the stillness of the horn, beneath the thunder of ambition, a storm is rising, not of conflict and instability, but of hope and national will, a hope and national will embodied in our Centennial Vision 2060 and the National Transformation Plan, which is the 5-year implementation tool of that vision, and as well as the recent progress we made on the economic development front. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, allow me first to begin thanking the organizers of this event, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, the Simmet University, the Ministry of Education, the Somali National University, and the Ministry of Agriculture and GIZ. Thank you for your leadership and for organizing this event and for selecting Mogadishu for the second time in a row as the host city for this event. This morning, as the Indian Ocean washed over the shores of Mogadishu, it met a city no longer defined by the legacy of the past, but by the sound of cranes rising due to a construction boom, by markets buzzing with business and opportunity, and by people committed to transforming their country with a purpose. As a child growing up in this city, I remember fresh in my memories, waking up to the sounds of and crackle of gunfire. That's no longer the case. We wake up to a hum of progress every morning. Somalia is not just recovering, it is accelerating, propelled by the determination of its people and the promise of a new era. As the newest member of the EAC community, we have enjoined to observe. I'm honored to have been with the president on his delegation to Arusha first time following the election in 2022, and the second time after we got admitted, that was in November 2023. That time, we did not join to observe, we joined to contribute, to lead, and to shape the region's future together with our brothers and sisters in the East Africa. But to shape that future, we must confront our present open-eyed and data-driven, like the educated minds told us a while ago in the panel. We must first understand the scale of challenge before we can build a solution worthy of our people. Let me begin with a number, 331 million. That is the estimated population of the East African community, where the updated numbers from the EAC Secretariat. Imagine 70% of that number are under the age of 30. Ask yourself, how many of those will have access to gainful employment within the next 5 years? In my estimation, and based on experience, far too few, I think. And I don't know if Many of you disagree with me, but that is proven by fact and by history. Because despite our abundant human capital, the majority of these people, most of them young people, are trapped in low productivity work, informal economy, extractive economy that is limiting our potential. As gloomy as that may be, I want to be absolutely clear that this region is not a region of hopelessness. It is a region of unrealized greatness. Let us keep playing with the numbers because they tell us stories with no bias. Manufacturing contributes to the combined GDP of East African community about 9%. The intra-EAC trade is around 15%, lagging behind the EU of about 60% and the ASEAN at 25%. The private sector, of course, creates most of the jobs, but it is still held back by infrastructure gaps, fragmented policies, and weak value chains. Yesterday, I heard the assertions from some of the speakers who I respectively disagree with. The assertion was that our future lies in agriculture alone. As history tells us, no country, none, zero, has been able to reach the high income status solely because of the primary sector. We need to produce, to manufacture, to scale, and to provide services, basically in simple terms, to make things, to deliver services that create value. The East African community is projected to grow by about 5.8% in 2025, faster than many of the regions, but that is mostly because of our low base. Without robust industrialization, we are chasing growth with one hand tied behind our back. Early in my speech, you remember that I said Somalia joined the East African community to lead, to contribute, and to build a future together. I'm aware of our situation, of our current affairs. Yes, we're the newest member of the East African community. Yes, Somalia has endured many years of instability, but Somalia is here to leap ahead. I will tell you why, how we would do that. Because we are not held back by deeply entrenched legacy systems that bog down our progress. This gives us the rare opportunity to build clean, build digital, build for the future, and not for the past. As expressed yesterday by His Excellency President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud, Somalia's development blueprint, anchored in the Centennial Vision 2060 and the National Transformation Plan, its implementation tool, Somalia is going ahead and forging ahead. The indicators explained yesterday in this room are not just aspirational, like the President expressed very strongly. They are practical, aligned with EAC 2050, aligned with Africa Agenda 2063, and ready for investment. Partnerships and regional visions are important, as no country can thrive in isolation. We cannot afford to be islands of growth in a sea of poverty. We must think, build, and trade regionally. The next 5 to 7 years are very crucial. It is a window of opportunity. You all realize that as the global supply chains shift, as investors scout for emerging markets, and as technologies leapfrog borders, we must ask ourselves, will we seize this moment? Or will we stand by as others shape our future for us? This is not just an economic challenge. This is a matter of sovereignty, dignity, and destiny. Will we compete in fragments, or we will finally build a strategic partnership? Over the next few panels, I will be listening and engaging with all discussants. As we look ahead to those panels, we are eager to hear ideas that will help us move from potential to production, from instability to industry, and from fragility, hope, to firm prosperity. Thank you so much, and thank you for your time.